Growing up, like many of our audience, um, I had a little plastic carrying case that was full of all sorts of die-cast miniature cars. You know, it was a combination of Hot Wheels and Matchboxes. Um, and where we didn't have the tracks to play with necessarily, like some people, what we did have was endless amounts of horizontal surfaces that could become our racetracks or whatnot. We could sit there and play with them in many hundreds, if not thousands of hours. Well, thousands, if not millions of hours. Who knows? We're spent racing around with all the various different die-cast little toy cars. Now, I won't attribute this playing of toys with as my current fascination with automotives. I think that kind of comes from a lot of different sources. However, I definitely enjoyed it. And we are this episode, we are going to the Hot Wheels Legends Tour Show in El Segundo, California, right next to LAX. And joining all of the other people who are there to celebrate playing with toy cars. Take a look at some actual cars that have been made into toys, or maybe cars that were inspiration for the toys. Now, the crowd was impressive. There were a lot of people there, and it was a lot of families, as you would expect. And they had a lot of activities for the kids to enjoy playing with model cars, with toy cars, with, of course, the real ones scattered all over the place. Kind of drawing the connection between where a lot of people found their inspirations to play with the full size cars as adults. And a lot of people have stated that, you know, maybe unlike me, unlike my suspicion about myself, playing with the toy cars inspired them to play with real cars, or full size cars, let's say, as adults. Um, and they're there, and a lot of them brought their kids, the next generation, to come and enjoy and maybe re-engage with the magic of imagination and diecast car that fits in the palm of your hand, and explore everything that you could were able to do with those incredible combinations of the mind's eye and simple combination of basic materials. Um, the show at the front was they had examples of what the inspiration was, or the actual cars that have been made from the toys themselves, made to look like the toys themselves. A lot of very interesting ones. There are a couple Star Wars themed. One looks like a Darth Vader's helmet. You got this interesting one with a couple of real jet engines in the back. Appears that the jet engines are non-functioning to my eye, but I could be mistaken. But there were a lot of other people there vying for the possibility of maybe their special custom car getting selected to be built into a new collector Hot Wheels miniature. But for the most part, there are a ton of people who came to the event with their personal cars just because it's a car show whereby the stipulation pretty much is it's got to be kind of, basically you have to be kind of have a personal touch to it. There has to be some statement about yourself there. And whereas there are plenty of factory vehicles like this Camaro and a few others that aren't terribly customized, but still very cool. You do have stuff like this X-Wing inspired, Star Wars themed custom, using a lot of what appears to be Formula One or Champ Car type components. And an example of the car that was made from it. Here's a little setup that's a off-road buggy built. That a miniature was made from, or was inspired by. Someone built a 32 Ford with a very interesting cowl hood, or excuse me, not cowl, but grill cover. Actually, it's a Model A. But the whole idea is kind of the trying to draw this distinction, this connection by the Mattel Corporation. Here's our Darth Vader hooded car, or helmeted car, which I remember seeing this one as a kid. I think this was one that we didn't have, but I remember seeing. We got a Barbie Corvette. But definitely Mattel trying to draw that distinction, that line, that thing where you're inspired to go the inspiration from using your imagination with your miniature car and any horizontal surface or nearly horizontal surface. And then as adult, using tools to create your dreams, make them realities. And there's some truth to it. I mean, obviously some corporate pandering to try and convince you to go ahead and go out and buy miniature cars, die-cast cars to display on the shelf. If you don't have kids, or if you have kids, give them to the kids and let them destroy, or buy two of them, one for yourself to display and another one for the kid to bury in the sand in the backyard. Regardless, it was a very successful show, I believe, by any stretch of the imagination. And there were a lot of vehicles I recognized from different people around the internet that I know live in this area. And the thing about it is the whole show wasn't... You just had to be a car. And so we saw everything from classic American Iron, which we generally heavily cover on this channel, to JDM and Wild Customs and, lifted up Jeeps and so forth. And families galore sharing the passion for this cars and what these objects mean to us, both in the miniature die-cast form and then also in the full-size get in and operate it form. How we can have this passion for personal transportation, which transcends the basic functionality of having a car. And how, with the right shape, striking form, color combination, sound and feel, and the rumble of the engine, the purr of the engine, we can connect with so many people that we might not even stop and talk to. You can stop and talk to someone whom you've never met before and have a conversation about their unusual vehicle and that extension, that expression of themselves right there, that conversation starter, by just looking at it, and how that is a gateway into getting to know your neighbors, your other people, getting to know just other communities that you've never connected with before. And it's I don't know. It's an enjoyable time. I mean, a Lotus 7 sitting next to an Abarth 500, with a Miata with a Gia inspired front clip sitting next to a Gia. That's pretty cool. An S10 Blazer done up as the Ghostbusters rig. Sure, why not? Let's do that. An Audi that looks like it was just ripped from the pages of a comic book next to just a absolutely gorgeous Datsun 510. There's some nice stuff here. And then there's this. One broke the front end on their 90s Thunderbird and thought grafting a shoebox front end on it made sense. It would work. Each their own, I guess. Kind of nice seeing all of these very different styles and inspirations and, lowriders and so forth, sitting all together, all these different parts, vibrant parts of, California car culture in one place. And I guess that's one of the big draws of this event, and the fact that these little die-cast cars transcend genre, transcend culture. They're universally beloved international toy. It seems I don't want to be dismissive by merely calling them toys. Clearly the impact on people and so forth. String of G bodies. I love G bodies. I wish that, especially that one. Gotta love that turbo Buick. Anyways, I digress. Point is, it's a good show and it was a good time. And next year, it was only a 4-hour event. It was from 10 in the morning, which it was 10:30 by the time they cleared the lineup to get everyone inside, until 2. And when they panel of judges selected the finalist from this event, which will go on and compete with the other finalists from other events in a final competition to determine their next specialty Hot Wheel Collector Edition, their next Legends of Hot Wheels collectible. So and then you got this thing here. Obviously, someone had a broken Chevelle and a broken El Camino and decided to put them together into a smushed up 2-seater Chevelle. Sure, why not? Let's do that. That I guess that can make sense. Another gull-wing door C3 Corvette. Anyway, I'm going to put some music on. Well, they were playing plenty of music there, so I can't share any of the audio from the event other than what I already have of me expressing some interest, I guess, in someone else's creation. And don't ever, and that's one of the challenges. Before I bring in some music, let me ramble on a little bit. I never want to poo-poo anyone else's creation. You have a vision, you're creating it. That's more than a lot of people. Some people don't even get the vision, and let alone actually have a vision and build it. So I try not to be critical of other people's visions and ideas beyond, not my taste, but and many times the idea is good, but the execution it leaves something to be desired because you just don't have the skill set. Sometimes the initial idea is just flawed, and that's that. But regardless, doing what you love, building what you love, exploring what you want to, what trying to do is always, I think, is one of the great things and one of the things everyone should be pursuing in their lives. Because why not? You only live once. When it's all over and nothing really matters, you might as well be doing what makes you smile. Nice, crazy looking drag car. Uh, and you got this tea bucket here, which is getting a lot of attention, and it's pretty cool. The C cab tea bucket. I think that's hell. That could be a movie car for all I know. It's interesting because what caught my eye was this chopped up beetle here. And initially, I was just like, all right, it's just another chopped up beetle. But I don't know. I kind of looking at it a little more closely and seeing what they got going on. One, the execution is excellent. But then you got that turbo setup on that Beetle engine, VW engine, and I bet that's a squirrely, fun car. I dig it, and it's interesting because he went ahead and the airbag, his whole suspension's airbag, which I have my opinions on, but and again, you can see a lot of these cars are inspired by people playing with Hot Wheels. Now that Toyota there, off-road Celica, I think someone I follow on Instagram, I think that's their car, but I could be mistaken on that. But yeah, it's a great event, and you see all these very eclectic gathering of interesting cars that I think it was a good event. I hope you enjoyed this Pit Stop Ranch special coverage of the Hot Wheels Legends Tour Stop in El Segundo, California. And we will be going out with this shot of Lucky Casca's C10 pickup, which, as a matter of fact, I did happen to catch. I saw him, and he was deep in conversation with my neighbor, who has this Chevelle. I'm flash at the very end here. But anyways, if you liked your coverage, please hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. And until next time, have a Hot Wheels-tastic day.